for Patty, let me tell you. It was her vision, and it's more than, I've done a lot of work in this church over many, many years, done a lot of good stuff. I have never done anything this ambitious. An entire week, all day, and the hottest week of the summer was pretty amazing. We've had 21 kids here this week. Some of them have connections with our church. Some of them are here often. Some of them are just connected through other family members. Some have never been here before. We didn't know them. They didn't know us. So we've watched them this whole week work on projects together, share and discuss things and ideas, play games, form new friendships. Well, they were playing with things like Legos or kinetic sand or magnetic blocks or fooling around, and being silly, but still they were forming a lot of new friendships and connections with each other. It was wonderful to see how well the groups worked together. Kids that didn't know each other when they came in. And that was just as important to us as anything else that we could possibly be introducing them to as far as ideas this week. So hopefully they're leaving with a few new ideas and about how our fragile, beautiful earth can be taken care of. We started the week with a book on the day you were born. Some of you may be familiar with it. That's what our program is based on this afternoon. It's a very lyrical and beautifully illustrated book about the natural world, always being here, welcoming us humans. When we started with it, one of the things we asked the kids that first day when I read the book to them was, what's in the world that humans didn't make? And they listed a whole bunch of things. And then we kind of voted on what we thought was really important. And they did list humans. And interestingly enough, when they voted on what they thought was some of the most important things in the world, humans weren't among them. So they really got the idea that we are part of this bigger part. Creation is much bigger than just humans and human needs. And we are all part of this world together. And the web of life kind of continued to weave itself in and out of the other books and the things that we did for the rest of the week. We talked about the web of life again. We talked about something about the rainforest. We talked about a lot of animals and how they might be endangered and losing their lives because of people. We talked a lot about recycling and reusing. We talked about sharing. We talked yesterday about inequality of resources and inequality of food in the world, and we worked out among themselves how they could share the bags of candy that were distributed in a way in which they would match the distribution of food in the larger world. And of course for them, they figured out right away that they had to share. And we talked about, well, who has to get the sharing started? Is it the people that don't have any or the people that had a lot? And the people that had a lot got the group together, mixed everything up, passed it around, and made sure it was equal. Now, that's, of course, very simple. But I think that we're at least maybe giving them some things to think about the world, natural world, taking care of creation and taking care of the humans that are part of creation. We ended today with a book about that we still have the power to do things. Even as children, they still have the power to do things, simple little things that we talked about all week. It might be composting, it might be planting a tree. They all kind of thought that was a neat idea. It might be putting out things for the pollinators. It might be trying to reuse things. We wrote out our ideas for what our dream might be for the future and tied them to a tree outside. So they'll be there for us to remember that we did this. And hopefully they will have gotten some ideas that they can make some choices themselves on little tiny things that they have the power to do to choose a better future than what may happen if we don't start paying attention to these things. We've been asked a lot, I'm going to do this again? And Let me tell you, it's way too early to answer that question. It's been very, very, very motivating, I have to say. It's energizing, it's motivating. The kids have been great. Our performance this afternoon is a retelling in our simple way of the book that we started with, the book that kind of formed the theme for this week, that there's a lot more in this world than just humans to be concerned about. And so it's On the Day You Were Born by Deborah Fraser. And I don't know, our actors and actresses. Oh, there they are. We're ready. Okay.
On the eve of your birth, word of your coming passed from animal to animal. The reindeer told the Arctic wolf, who told the humpback whale, who told the Pacific salmon, who told the monarch butterflies, who told the green sea turtles, who told the European eel, who told the busy garden warblers, and the marvelous news migrated worldwide.
While you waited in darkness, tiny knees curled to chin, the earth and her creatures, with the sun and the moon, all moved in their place. Each ready to greet you, the very first moment of the very first day you arrived. On the day you were born, the round planet Earth turned toward your morning sky, whirling past darkness, spinning the night into light. On the day you were born, gravity's strong pull held you to the earth with a promise that you would never float away. While deep in space, the burning sun sent up towering flames, lighting your sky from dawn until dusk. the day you were born, the quiet moon glowed and offered to bring a full, bright face each month to your windowsill. While high above the North Pole, Polaris, the glittering North Star, stood still, shining silver white into your night sky. On the day you were born, the moon pulled on the oceans below, and wave by wave, a rising tide washed the beaches clean for your footprints. While far out at sea, clouds swelled with water drops, sailed to shore on a wind, and rained you a welcome across the earth's green lands. On the day you were born, a forest of tall trees collected the sun's light in their leaves, where in silent mystery they made oxygen for you to breathe. While close to your skin and as high as the sky, air rushed and blew about, invisibly protecting you and all living things on earth.
On the day you were born, the earth turned, the moon pulled, the sun flared, then with a push, you slipped out of the dark and quiet where you could suddenly hear a circle of people singing with voices familiar and clear.
I would invite you to look in your bulletins and join us in the last refrain. The people sang as they washed your new tiny hands.
Welcome to the green earth.
The people sang as they wrapped your wet, slippery body. And as they hugged you close, they whispered into your open, curving ear, "We are so glad you come." I just changed this just for a second because I really want to acknowledge. We're going to have you go find your parents. Okay, just a second. So let's have the butterflies take a bow. And the butterflies can go find their moms and dads. Let's have the reindeers take a bow. And the reindeers can find their moms and dads. Let's have the busy garden warbler find his mom and dad. Let's have the wolf find his mom and dad. Let's have the Pacific salmon find their moms and dads. Let's have the eels find their moms and dads. Let's have the turtles come out of their shells and find their moms and dads. Let's have the humpback whale find her mom and dad. You can leave your humpback whale, yay. And the sun and the moon and Polaris. Well, I do believe in miracles. Even about an hour ago, I wasn't sure we'd pull it off, but you know, everybody always does. They always do, and your kids have been so wonderful. We have truly enjoyed having them here with us. And I did want to acknowledge all the people that have helped us. I'm not going to read the names, but you'll find them all in the bulletin. And we couldn't have done this without our volunteers. They have helped tremendously, and the kids were good listeners. We're looking for a water bottle right now, which is fine. I just want to tell you, from my part, how this got started. And I was going to watch my 2 grandchildren for the week because all of you know it's hard to find care for your children in the summer. And we got to thinking that maybe it was important to do something not just for my kids, but for some other people too, that, you know, it's really hard. We really understand the challenges parents have faced, particularly after the years that you spent with COVID and trying to figure out childcare and everything. So we are really glad to do this. We want to be connecting with our neighbors. Today, the kids got to meet some of the people from the Highland Friendship Club who come here. They're people who have special needs, and they help us tend our gardens, which they help plant. If you can take a look at them, we have a pollinator garden. We have a sensory garden, and this last year, we now have planted a vegetable garden for our Fresh and Free vegetable market. So I really don't have too many other announcements because what I thought I was going to announce may not happen now, so I'm just going to hold off on it. But we do have a Fresh and Free vegetable market. Watch for news of when it's going to happen because with the weather, we might be changing it. So anyway, we want to thank you for coming, and please greet those around